2018 has been a breakout year in many aspects, and also when it comes to an organization like the RSS. For the first time, the organization which boasts of being the parent organization for the top office holders of our country reached out to the public and media. Their head, Mohan Bhagwat, was not just heard as he usually is during the Dussehra event, but he also, over a period of 3 days, held forth on everything about the RSS to a select audience, where he seemed to drive home a reworked message of the RSS. And driving the message home also is a new book that's by Rajya Sabha MP and RSS ideologue Rakesh Sinha. In the book, he talks about how there has been a conspiracy to malign the RSS and how that persists even in TV discussions today, where he says, and I quote, he says that there is a malicious attempt to do this, and he goes on to show how that is done because of the panelists and the malice that people have. Rakesh Sinha, thank you so much for joining us here. There's obviously, I hope you feel comfortable and you don't feel any malice at all like other TV discussions that you talk about. Now, I want to start with, of course, the entire incident that is topical right now. Your book, which has a lot about current events, current politics, and then you go on to talk about how the ideology fits in and what you see as, what you see as the kind of propaganda that has been there, according to you, which you say has also been there because of left historians and Nehruvian ideology has perpetuated it. Now, what has become the biggest story over the last couple of days is what's happening in Bulandshahr. And in that, because we have a hashtag about this as well, about RSS, many people want to know what we've seen over there is this disturbing story of a police officer getting attacked by mob violence, killed by mob violence. Why? Because they thought they were angry about alleged cow slaughter. There were carcasses found in Bulandshahr, and because of that, that's taken place. Now, I want your thoughts on it, also because there are various questions that viewers have sent in as well. But before we hear from you, I just want to play out what Indresh Kumar, another senior RSS leader, said about it.
अभी शबरीमलाई का निर्णय हुआ, जैसे अमुक गोष्ठ न्याय, अमुक बात न्याय सम्मत है कि नहीं है, ये तय करने का अधिकार केवल न्यायालय को है और किसी का नहीं। वैसे अमुक बात धर्म सम्मत है कि नहीं, ये उस धर्म में जो धर्माचार्य वो तय करते, उनसे बात होनी चाहिए।
गाय के लिए एक सेंसिटिविटी है, इसलिए गाय और गोश्त की सेंसिटिविटी के कारण ये और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटनाएं जन्म लेती हैं। अन्य कोई पशु पक्षी मरता है और उसका मीट खाते हैं तो कोई सेंसिटिविटी नहीं आती है। इसलिए मैं कहता हूं, जब करोड़ों करोड़ मेजॉरिटी लोगों की ये सेंसिटिविटी है तो उनकी सेंसिटिविटी को चोट नहीं पहुंचानी चाहिए।
So there we have it. Indresh Kumar talking about that, and what Mohan Bhagwat also said during his RSS conclave was along the same lines. He says that it's wrong to have cow vigilantism, however, you must have respect the sentiments and must protect cows.
It is in the constitutional pretext and constitutional framework in which we see that cows should be protected. Besides that, Hindus worship cow. The protection of cow is a part of the directive principle of state policy. Therefore, sensitivity of the Hindus and the constitutional directive both should be respected by the people. And once deliberately you are attacking cow, you are trying to create a insensitive atmosphere in the society. Therefore, but the violence cannot be justified at any cost. Whosoever is indulged in the violence, RSS distances itself. Mohan Bhagwat ji categorically said, any cow vigilantism is not the part of the RSS program. And I heard the DGP of Uttar Pradesh, they said that there is a huge conspiracy behind that. They are examining, investigating the issues from the perspective of the conspiracy. This is not a simply law and order issue. Therefore, let us wait. No, because this is the election season, and during the election season, there are various forces are in action.
Why we chose this as the first question to you was because this has become one of the key issues. This is something that Mohan Bhagwat also addressed. However, when a senior leader of the RSS, first thing that he talks about, he seems to be justifying it by saying the sentiments of those. This is unfortunate, but he seems to suggest that the sentiments have been hurt of the people because cow slaughter has been done. Whereas even NDTV's report has today shown that there is no evidence of such. The FIR that is there has some minor children.
No, you know,
on the FIR as well.
Neither Mohan
and same with Mohan Bhagwat ji. He also said, Mohan Bhagwat, the head of the RSS, he also said at the same breath that cow vigilantism is wrong. However, the sentiments of the people and cow protection must be done. Why is there always a balancing act? That a person has died.
Let me answer.
A police officer has died.
Can anyone say in this country that cows, there is no sentiment for cow? Everybody says that this sentiment should be protected.
But is it at the risk of a life?
Look, when we are condemning...
A human life, isn't it much more
when we
precious?
are condemning violence, when we are condemning the cow vigilantism, at the same time we say that cow sentiment for the cow should be respected. Both are not contradictory things.
No, but
when protecting the sentiment for cow is a non-violent thing. Even Gandhi said that sentiment for cow should be protected.
Dr. Rakesh Sinha, you heard. Should we play out that?
No, I heard.
Andresh Kumar's fight.
Neither Mohan Bhagwat ji nor Andresh Kumar ji justified the violence.
But in the same breath, a man has died. Instead of wholeheartedly condemning the violence.
You asked the question, both of them, about the killing of a police officer.
But we are not, yeah.
No, anybody can ask the question, and I find that each and every RSS person, right from a Swayamsevak to Sarsang Chala, could condemn the violence taking place in the name of cow. We are not for killing any individual. We are not killing for a mob lynching. We are against mob lynching.
But it's not unequivocal.
That
is the problem.
No, it is unequivocal. Mohan Bhagwat, Prime Minister.
He was asked about the killing of a police officer, sir, in Uttar Pradesh, in a BJP government, where the ruling, there is a center state, both of them, there is no kind of problem with that. And in that, a police officer is attacked by a mob. And when he's asked for his reaction, he talks about the sentiments of the people when it comes to cows. Isn't that condoning the violence?
You are mixing two things. When we speak something
but
about...
Sir, when
we speak about the cow, we say that millions of people in the past, present, and in posterity also would worship cow as mother. And there is a sentiment for cow. At the same time, we condemn cow vigilantism. This protection of cow is a non-violent action of the RSS.
Non-violent.
Non-violent, complete non-violent. No violence can be justified.
Right.
Anyone who is indulging in the violence should be condemned. On your discussion in NDTV, I condemn those who killed the Pahlu Khan. This is not the question of RSS is being projected. What that my book says that whenever any incident takes place, the conclusion is that it is the RSS which is behind that. It is a Hindu right is behind that.
So the reason might be two things. You know that somebody, in fact, the viewer question in this particular one is very, very, very clear. There are two viewer questions on this. You have Pradhan Ramjiral who says how RSS is different from Bajrang Dal. And why they're asking about Bajrang Dal is, of course, as you know, a Bajrang Dal activist called Yogesh Raj has been arrested as the accused in this particular case. Does RSS agree that Bajrang Dal is a bunch of anti-social elements? Do Gorakshaks have cows domesticated? And another person, you have Vikash, he says, whatever happened in Bulandshahr, is this the ideology of the RSS?
No, I think that is the problem which DGP says that this is a conspiracy and they are investigating the conspiracy. Before that, you are reaching the conclusion that blaming the RSS for what reason? Bajrang Dal is a nationalist organization which has been working in the field.
It is an affiliate.
No, it is.
It is part of the larger Sangh Parivar.
You know, the Bajrang Dal has never indulged in any kind of violence. If individuals are indulged in violence, if they are proved that some individuals are the part of the violence, if it is proved, he is arrested. The organization cannot be blamed for any act for any individual.
Isn't that an easy out, sir?
No, it is not easy out. Look, in this country, when there is socio-economic complexities, when some incidents taking place, you cannot take guarantee of each and every member.
What is the socio-economic, the complexity of a man being killed? Can anything be? Can anything justify that, sir?
I have a counter question.
Yeah.
When CRP people are killed by the Naxalites, and when there are some professors justify here, some journalists justify here. No.
We are talking about today's incident,
this is just
and
like,
we are talking about cow vigilantism and the RSS
no,
standard.
I'm just coming
and
to
the
it.
reason
I'm just coming
sir,
to that.
Your book,
I'm
sir, your book is actually, no sir, why it is important? Because your book is dispelling the attempt of this book, objective of this book, and throughout we've been through all the chapters, is to dispel notions of it. Now this is one of the primary notions, which is why Mohan Bhagwat in his lecture series deals with it. And yet we see Mohan Bhagwat in the same breath say that cow protection must be down, but we don't support cow vigilantism. Today, when a person has been killed in the name of cow protection, today a person has been killed in the name of cow protection, again that is repeated, sir. No. Shouldn't it have been an outright condemnation instead of balancing that is being
stating
done?
that,
are you saying a cow life, a human life are the same?
No, I say that.
Are you saying that?
I say a cow is just like my mother. That doesn't mean I am justifying the killing of a person. Both are two different things. You are trying to mix the things just to reach the conclusion.
We are not mixing, sir, because it's got mixed in this entire sad incident.
Who is
sir,
mixing?
A person has been, a police officer
so
has
we
been
are
killed by a mob.
condemning the killing of a person. The culprits must be taken to task. The law should take its action, whosoever may be.
So your stance is different from Indresh Kumar's stance?
No. Entire RSS is for a non-violent action. Anyone who is indulging in violence, RSS at no point of time, in the history of the RSS of more than 9 decades, RSS has been indulged in any kind of violent activities. When there was a ban on the RSS 1948, there was ban in 1975, there was ban in after demolition of the structure. RSS Swayamsevaks have not indulged in any kind of violence. They took the method of satyagraha.
Okay, I'll let that rest for a bit. We've started off with a very contentious thing. Now, let's go on to the second point. Now, in your book, you do a great deal to dispel the anti-Muslim notion of the RSS. And so, you quote M.S. Golwalkar. And you say the Muslim is welcome to his way of life so long as he loves his country and its culture. Now, the one thing that became which a lot was written about after the RSS's head, Mohan Bhagwat, had his event, was why is it that in his speeches and in his outreach that the RSS head had, how is it that he didn't mention Golwalkar at all? He in fact mentioned and quoted from Head Kebar, and he talked about him, how he did. Could it be because of the fact that M.S. Golwalkar's, these quotes stand out in our mind? And I'm going to just quote one for our viewers, and you can just tell us how the two match. In 1939, he writes, to keep up the purity of the race and its culture, Germany shocked the world by her purging the country of the Semitic races, the Jews. Germany has also shown how well nigh impossible it is for races and cultures having differences going to the root to be assimilated into one united whole, a good lesson for us in Hindustan to learn and profit by. This is not the only such instance, of course. I'm sure you know there are many such instances. Should I answer that? Talking about a Hindu Rashtra.
Should I answer that?
Yes, please, sir.
Anyone who would go through my book.
We've been through your book.
This is not the work of the Golwalkar. That quote is from We or Our Nation Defined. This is the original book is in Hindu Rashtra Mimamsa that was written by G.D. Savarkar, elder brother of V.D. Savarkar. And that book was translated by Golwalkar. In 1964, Golwalkar, addressing the meetings, categorically said in Mumbai that this book was translated by him. It is not his original writing. So, translator cannot be blamed for any quotes in that book. Therefore, this is the propaganda against the RSS without
but there are many other ones as well. I can just read out the list
just give me any quote. And Mohan Bhagwat ji said about certain quotes of Golwalkar ji that at a particular time, the context, some quotes were relevant, but these are not relevant. What Golwalkar said,
so he didn't deny.
I am giving just one instance. When there was 1946, when there was a Pakistan movement at climax, and there were Muslim protests against India's nationality. When some quotes are there, you cannot use that quotes in 2018. There are some contextual thing.
When I say something in 1946 and that quote is being used in 2018, the context is very important for any individual's statement. If you are quoting something,
but this quote, and there are other quotes as well where he also, you know, there are other quotes as well. They're all throughout, and that's been quoted widely. And
no,
you're saying it's
they
all
are
part of the
quoted by
propaganda.
Sitaram Yechuri, quoted by
also by historians,
most
sir.
no who historians that I quoted in this book. You know, RSS participated in the freedom.
So you're picking and choosing, and they're also picking.
No.
Shouldn't we see it in totality?
I'm not picking and choosing. I just say left historians go through the National Archives files. That is intelligence report, because left historians always emphasize that everything should be reference based, reference model. That is known as the reference model. Just quote the RSS file in which RSS and Hindu Mahasabha are two separate organizations. RSS was in 1925. There was a rift between Dr. B.S. Munje and RSS. And still left historians say that whatever Mahasabha did and said, that is thrust upon the RSS.
Right.
So you are blaming RSS for not its deeds.
So all of those quotes which are there, which are attributed to M.S. Golwalkar, are all false, you're saying?
No, we or our nation would define the book you are quoting.
Savarkar's own, you know, his brother has written it.
G.D. Savarkar written, Ganesh Damodar.
And he was wrong.
No, that quote, we don't subscribe that quote. He wrote in that context, and it is his version. RSS does not subscribe the G.D. Savarkar's book that we are our nation defined. That was translation by Golwalkar. That Mohan Bhagwat ji said even about the bunch of thoughts. He said certain quotes. I am just giving one quote, that during the Telangana movement, when there was a armed revolt by the communists in Telangana, then Guruji said that communists are the internal threats, and Nehru said the same thing, internal threats. But so you are quoting at present, when communists adopted the parliamentary democracy, we don't call the communists as a threat. When you are going for the armed revolution, when you are partitioning the country, you are questioning the India's nationality, then you will be called as an internal threat.
So here's the contradiction which many point out, that while a lot of people within the RSS and within the family point out that this is a revolutionary moment, Ram Madhav called it glasnost, that you said that, you know, it's all encompassing, Muslims are part of the country, in fact part of Hinduness. I think he defined it as, you know, the definition of Hindutva was all those who lived in this region. So it encompasses everybody. And yet, isn't there a contradiction in the fact that you refuse to acknowledge, RSS refuses to acknowledge that Muslims eat beef?
No, you know, when we worship cow, and cow is worshipped by the millions of Hindus.
You know, you are accepting them, but not accepting their
Do you consider that eating beef is a fundamental principle of Islam?
It's a cultural
Who said that?
Legacy.
Who said that eating beef is a cultural legacy? I think it is a pathetic to call Muslim that this is the part of the Islam. I think that many Muslim rulers, even Babur and the last Mughal ruler, they banned the cow slaughter in Delhi itself. During 1857, cow slaughter was banned by the Muslim ruler itself.
But to impose
therefore, I think that they were more rational. And those people who are
you're selectively choosing somebody who would have voluntarily adopted vegetarianism or banned it to speak for an entire community.
No, I think entire debate should not be centered around the cow. There are two things clear. In Constituent Assembly debate also, the cow has been defended by the people who were not the part of the RSS, who were not the part of the Hindutva movement, and outside that, Mahatma Gandhi defended. That does not mean they were justifying cow vigilantism, they were justifying the violence. Therefore, Mahatma Gandhi to Mohan Bhagwat, everybody believed that this should be non-violent action.
Okay, so let's move on to the other topic, and perhaps one of the most contentious ones in this election time, where you deal with Rahul Gandhi, and I think it's a mutual fixation. Rahul Gandhi talks a lot about the RSS, and you also deal with Rahul Gandhi quite a lot in the book. And you say from Nehru to Rahul Gandhi, all hold common grudges and grievances against the RSS for the sake of undermining the RSS democratic and nationalist commitment and complete rejection of secularism that created an almost unbridgeable division between the majority and minorities of India. The RSS unequivocally advocated one people, one India. Let's just play out for you what Rahul Gandhi has said. One of the things, he's spoken a lot about the RSS. Let's just play out what he said.
An organization called the RSS that is trying to change the nature of India. See, there is no other organization in India that wants to capture India's institutions. What we're dealing with is a completely new idea. It's an old idea being reborn. And it's similar to the idea that exists in the Arab world with the Muslim Brotherhood. And I would compare it. And the idea is that one ideology should run through every single institution.
So, extremes on both sides. He says Muslim Brotherhood, and you say in your thing that the entire conspiracy is a Gandhi conspiracy against the RSS.
You know, Rahul Gandhi talks something which is not only absurd, but is going against the ethos of India, going on foreign soil and comparing RSS with the Muslim Brotherhood. You just see the RSS is a nationalist organization which has been running 1,70,000 projects in this country, and there are in various aspects of life. Just I am counting that 155,000 schools run by Ekal Vidyalaya, and Vidya Bharati has been running almost 40,000 schools. Therefore, I consider that instead of examining the facts and figure about the RSS, going to the grassroots activities of the RSS, as Mohan Bhagwatji said that, if you want to know the RSS, come closer to RSS, don't join RSS. See RSS from your own eyes. Then you want to appreciate RSS, appreciate, you want to criticize RSS. But from the left historian's perspective, I am giving one example just.
Okay.
In 1947, when there was Constituent Assembly debate, Jafar Sharif raised the question that RSS should be banned because it is a communal organization. Then
and it was Sardar Patel who banned it.
Sardar Patel was a home minister, and he asked all the state government to send the reports.
Right.
All the provinces and state governments said RSS has no indulgence in the violence in any part of the country. It has nothing to do with the communal violence of in the country. And still the left historians say that RSS was part of the communal violence in 1946,
but you know what I find interesting,
47.
and that's perhaps the last thing I want to ask you. Why is it that Sardar Patel, you know, the RSS, he is such a hero for the RSS, even though he was the one who said, and if you can just play out that quote as well, there is no doubt in my mind that the extreme section of the Hindu Mahasabha was involved in this conspiracy. The activities of the RSS constituted a clear threat to the existence of the government and the state. He was very critical of the RSS.
No, you know, the RSS, he
banned the RSS, and he took away the ban only on a very conditional aspect, saying that you won't get into politics.
It was his compulsion to ban the RSS.
But look at this statement. This statement also can't be a death conspiracy.
There are more than dozens of letters he wrote Nehru, saying that it was not RSS involved in the murder of Mahatma Gandhi. And Nehru was compelled.
But what about this specific one?
No, he was not a RSS Swayamsevak. He was critical for the RSS, but at the same time, after removing the ban, the Congress Working Committee welcomed the RSS in the Congress fold. So there are complexities and contradictions in the Congress activities that time, but RSS has no point of time was indulged in violence, not in communal violence, but the left historians and social scientists have ignored the empirical facts, and they have assumed that RSS is a threat to the nation, and to assume that they are gathering the selective facts, selective empirical data just to prove their own point of view.
It's all a conspiracy according to you.
Not a conspiracy, but this is a one-sided view.
He is doing his bit to fight that. So here's his book. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us here on NDTV about all these ideas. Thanks. Take a short break.